How to respond when he texts you after a long time, Carl Jung. You're scrolling through your phone, maybe checking your notifications, maybe just trying to distract yourself from the weight of the day. And then it happens. That message, the one that always stirs something up, no matter how long it's been. Hey, stranger, how have you been? Or the one that hits a little softer but lands just as heavy. I thought about you today. Your breath catches, not out of joy, but out of a mix of confusion, anger, and yes, a sliver of something you don't want to name. It's from him, the man who vanished. No fight, no closure, just silence. The same man who once left you questioning yourself, wondering if you were too much, too intense, or too hopeful. Asking yourself if it was your fault that he pulled away, if your expectations were too high, or if wanting emotional clarity made you difficult. You read the message again and again. You don't respond. Not because you don't want to, but because part of you is too exhausted and the other part is too wise. That silence isn't his anymore. It's yours. A silence that doesn't echo with hope, but with reflection. A silence filled with 100 thoughts you can't yet untangle. Questions you've asked before, ones you hoped you'd never have to ask again. Why do they come back? Is it regret? Is it changed? Or is it just convenience? Could it be that he finally realized what you were worth? That he's changed? That he's had an awakening? Or is it something less romantic? Just a way to check if you're still there, still available, still willing to give him the emotional energy he never learned how to honor. This is the moment many women know too well. The return of the man who didn't stay. And this is where the reflection begins. Because there's something so many of us have had to learn the hard way. Not everyone who comes back does so because they love you. Sometimes they come back because they want to make sure they still can. That's not love. That's control, dressed up as curiosity. And this conversation, this one we're having now, isn't judgment. It's not bitterness. It's the truth, spoken from the heart of someone who's lived through the same scars. It's the truth that you may already know deep down. The truth that wants to protect your future, not punish your past. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about emotionally low-value men. Not to condemn them, but to understand the patterns they bring. Because when you understand, you choose differently. And when you start choosing from a place of self-love, the story shifts. Carl Jung once said, "When you truly love yourself, you stop accepting crumbs. Not because you're harsh, but because you finally understand your worth." And that's the foundation we're going to build from. From the ground of self-worth, from the strength of clarity, from the courage it takes to say no more. Because this isn't just your story, it's a pattern. He was present once, interested, maybe even consistent. He asked about your day, sent funny memes, hinted that he could see a future. Even if he never actually stepped into it, you opened your heart, gave your time, made space for something meaningful. Then one day, silence. No warning, no conflict, no goodbye. Just gone. And you were left staring at your phone, wondering what happened, wondering if you imagined it all, replaying every conversation, every detail, looking for the mistake. Your mistake. The doubt creeps in. Did I say too much? Was I too available? Did I expect something he wasn't ready for? But here's the truth. You didn't do anything wrong. And when he reappears with a simple, "Hey," as if none of that happened, he's not offering reconciliation. He's not offering growth. He's offering a test. He wants to see if the door is still open. And if you reply, if you welcome him back without question, without conversation, without boundaries, you teach him that his inconsistency is acceptable, that your heart is a revolving door. But that's not love. That's an imbalance. And imbalance, over time, turns into emotional erosion. It makes you feel small, makes you feel like you have to work harder to be enough for someone who never truly chose you in the first place. See, these men often don't leave because they're confused. They leave because they can. They leave because they know they'll be welcomed back. Even if they never explain, even if they never truly show up. And that's what has to stop. Because you're not a second chance waiting to be used. You're not a maybe someone can come back to when their world falls apart. You are a whole human being, and you deserve consistency, clarity, and respect. Not just when it's convenient, but always. So the next time your screen lights up with a, "Hey," stop and ask yourself, is he returning? Or is he repeating the cycle? Is he here with a real intention? Or just to confirm that he still holds space in your mind, is he willing to offer something real? Or is he just collecting your attention like a trophy? You deserve answers. You deserve someone who chooses you with clarity. And if someone's only showing up to see if they can still hold your heart without earning it, then they don't deserve to hold it at all. This isn't about shutting yourself off. It's about protecting the most sacred thing you have, your peace, your emotional energy, your self-respect. Because not every message is a sign. Some are bait. And you're not here to be caught. You're here to rise. Let's talk about patterns. Because when it comes to emotionally unavailable men, one of the most common, yet most exhausting, patterns is the cycle of disappearance and return. One day he's engaging, showing interest, sending messages, and being present. You start to feel hopeful, maybe even safe. And then, without warning, he's gone. No explanation, no closure, just silence. You wait, at first, with patience, then with anxiety, then with that sinking feeling you know too well. Here we go again. The hours become days. The days turn into weeks, sometimes even months. You tell yourself you won't care this time, that you'll stay strong, that you're not waiting. But the truth is, part of you is, because you've been here before. You've seen the pattern, you've lived it. And yet, when the message finally comes again, "Hey," or "I've been thinking about you," or "I've missed us," your heart doesn't celebrate. It panics, because you know what comes next. A brief moment of connection, a glimmer of possibility, the illusion of something rekindled. But not long after, the pattern repeats. He's here, then he's not. He opens the door, then walks away again, and you're left once more to pick up the emotional pieces. This kind of behavior is not love. It's not romance. It's not even confusion. It's emotional irresponsibility. And more than that, it's selfish. When a man disappears without explanation and returns as if nothing happened, he's sending a very clear message. Whether he realizes it or not, your emotions are not important to me. Your time is not valuable. Your heart is not something I need to handle with care. Instead, he prioritizes his comfort, his need for space, his avoidance of intimacy, his own timing. He doesn't take into account the anxiety he leaves behind, the doubts he stirs up, the healing he interrupts when he comes back just when you are starting to move on. And the worst part? He expects you to be where he left you. He thinks your world has been on pause, that your heart has been waiting, that you'll open the door without question. And sometimes we do. Not because we're weak, not because we lack self-worth, but because we've been conditioned to believe that maybe Just maybe, this time will be different. Because he said he missed you, because he thought of you, because the idea that he came back must mean something. But friend, hear this. A man who comes back without taking responsibility for his absence is not coming back for you. He's coming back for himself. Maybe he's lonely. Maybe he's bored. Maybe things didn't work out elsewhere, and he wants to feel loved again. But none of that is about building something real with you. It's about feeding an ego that doesn't want to be forgotten. And so many women fall into this trap. Not because we don't see it, but because our hearts are so open. Because we want to believe in change. Because we've been taught to see these gestures as signs of love. But let's learn to see clearly. Let's learn to ask different questions. Is he reaching out because he values you, or because he wants to feel valuable? Is he coming back to build, or to borrow your emotional strength again? You are not here to be a rest stop. You are not someone's emotional plan. B, you are not the safe place for someone who refuses to be safe for you. Because here's the cost of welcoming him back without clarity. You normalize instability. You teach your nervous system to live in emotional unpredictability. You start to believe that inconsistency is just part of the package. That love is supposed to hurt. That being unsure, anxious, and on edge is normal. And it's not. Love should feel like peace, like presence, like certainty, not like checking your phone 20 times a day wondering if you said something wrong. Not like replaying conversations looking for clues. Not like being scared to ask for clarity in case it drives him away again. Carl Jung once said, "You are not responsible for the behavior of others, only for how you treat yourself." And that's what this is really about. Not about blaming him, but about choosing you. Because every time you let someone return without holding them accountable, you reinforce the idea that this is what you deserve. You start accepting crumbs. You start convincing yourself that a little attention is better than nothing. That an inconsistent love is still love. But you know better now. A man who leaves and returns without explanation is not confused. He's comfortable with the idea that your heart is always available. Comfortable with not having to grow, not having to explain, not having to show up. And when he sends that vague message, "Hey, thought about you, missed talking to you," he's not offering you love. He's offering you a question. Do I still have access to you? And your response is the answer. So let your silence speak louder than his games. Let your self-respect be the door that no longer opens without clarity, intention, and consistency. This isn't about punishing him. It's about protecting you. You deserve to be met with patience, with commitment, with care. You deserve to be chosen, not occasionally, but every day. And that starts with choosing yourself. Because the more you love yourself, the less available you become for someone who only comes back when it's convenient. The more you respect your time, the more you'll demand that others respect it too. The more you know your worth, the less interested you'll be in someone who only sees you clearly when he's lonely. So the next time the message comes, take a breath, read it, then ask yourself, does this serve my peace? Does this honor my growth? Does this align with the love I know I deserve? If the answer is no, let it go. You are not here to be recycled emotional comfort. You are here to rise into the kind of love that stays. Let's go deeper, because maybe by now you've started recognizing the pattern for what it is. The cycle of return and silence. The illusion of care. The unspoken hope is that this time, maybe he'll stay. Maybe he'll explain. Maybe he's finally ready. But time and time again, he shows you something very different. He shows you that emotional presence is something he gives only when it's easy. That your vulnerability is only safe when he feels like being present. That your emotional needs come second to his mood, his chaos, his convenience. And you're exhausted, not from loving him, but from trying to be okay with the lack of love in return. Because let's be honest, you haven't just been patient. You've adjusted, shrunk, and smiled through confusion. You've quieted your voice when it wanted to speak up. You've stayed available when you knew he wasn't really showing up. You've done everything to keep the connection alive, except receive what you actually deserve. Let's name what's happening here. This is not occasional disinterest. This is emotional unavailability. And more often than not, it's a pattern disguised as mystery, as independence, or as him just going through something. But it's not romantic to keep showing up for someone who can't or won't meet you there. It's painful. And even more painful is the emotional gaslighting that often follows. Because when you finally speak up, when you finally say, "This doesn't feel good. I need more clarity, more consistency, more honesty," what happens? He doesn't lean in. He pulls away. He says things like, "You're being dramatic. You're overthinking it. Why are you making a big deal out of nothing? You always turn everything into a problem." Suddenly, the focus isn't on how his actions affected you. It's on how your reaction made him uncomfortable. That's not communication. That's manipulation. It's the subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, art of making you feel like you're the problem for wanting something healthy. Like you're too emotional for asking for basic respect. This tactic leaves you doubting yourself. You start apologizing, not for being rude or hurtful, but for feeling. You tiptoe around topics. You water down your truth. You try to phrase things more gently. You worry that being honest will scare him off. Even though deep down, you know that anyone scared off by honesty isn't someone who should be in your life. Carl Jung once said, "You've been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens." So try it. Try validating your own feelings. Try believing that your emotions are not burdens. They're signals, guides, and messengers. When something feels inconsistent, it's not paranoia. It's your intuition asking you to listen. When someone disappears right after you ask for clarity, it's not a coincidence. It's a red flag. A man who truly cares doesn't punish you with distance. He doesn't respond to your vulnerability with silence. He doesn't leave you alone in the middle of a conversation. You were brave enough to start. And let's talk about that silence, because it's not innocent. It's strategic. He knows you're waiting. He knows you're wondering. He knows your anxiety is building. And he stays silent. Not because he's too busy, but because he wants to control the emotional tone of the relationship without actually doing the work. That silence is loud. It says you asked for too much. You pushed too hard. You should have stayed quiet. And slowly you learn to silence yourself, to not rock the boat, to carry the weight of the emotional labor. You become the one who reaches out first, who smooths things over, who keeps the peace, but at what cost? Your voice begins to disappear in the relationship. You stop expressing needs because you know they won't be met. You stop naming hurt because you know it won't be acknowledged. You stop asking for consistency because all you've received is silence, distance, and cold avoidance. And let me tell you, this is not love. This is not strength either. It's survival. And love is not supposed to be survived. Love is supposed to be mutual, present, and brave. A relationship built on emotional avoidance is not a safe place for your heart. Because no matter how careful you are, no matter how gentle your words, you will never be the right person to someone who is committed to misunderstanding you, especially when understanding you would require them to look at themselves. This kind of man wears emotional armor, and any sign of your depth feels like a threat. Not because you're too much, but because he has never developed the capacity to meet you there. So, instead of stepping up, he shuts down. Instead of taking accountability, he plays the victim. Instead of being present, he vanishes. And when he does return, it's not to make things right. It's to make sure you haven't moved on. He wants access, not intimacy. He wants attention, not accountability. He wants emotional benefits without the emotional investment. And you, with your open heart, have to make the choice. Will I keep playing this game, or will I choose myself this time? Will you keep showing up for someone who doesn't show up for you? Or will you let his silence be the clarity you needed all along? Because here's the truth. You should not have to beg for presence. You should not have to audition for love. The love that is meant for you will not confuse you. It will not punish you for feeling. It will not silence you for speaking. Carl Jung also said, you can heal your life. But to do so, you must be willing to face what hurts. And sometimes, the hardest thing to face is this. He doesn't have the capacity to love you the way you deserve. And that's not your fault. But it is your responsibility now to protect your heart. So, the next time you find yourself shrinking to fit someone else's comfort zone, stop. The next time, silence is used against you like a weapon. Remember, your voice is not a threat. It is your power. You are not too much of anything. You are not too emotional. You are not asking for too much. You are simply asking the wrong person. And the right one. He won't be scared of your depth. He'll meet you there. There's a moment many women fear but also deeply need. It's the moment when you decide, not with anger, but with deep clarity, that you're done accepting emotional scraps, that you're done tolerating the kind of love that leaves you waiting, wondering, and doubting yourself. It's not a dramatic goodbye. It's not a big fight. It's a quiet, steady truth that rises from within you like a whisper and then becomes a roar. I deserve better than this. Not because you're perfect, not because you never made mistakes, but because you've learned that love, real love, is not measured by how much pain you can endure. It's measured by how safe you feel being fully yourself. And this kind of relationship, the one where you walk on emotional eggshells, where you silence yourself to avoid another shutdown, and where you play detective trying to interpret mixed signals, isn't love. It's survival disguised as connection. Let's be clear. You are not here to survive someone's inconsistency. You are not here to soothe someone who disappears every time. You ask for emotional depth. You are not here to be someone's emotional reset button. You are not here to hold space for a man who has no intention of holding space for you. When he goes silent, it's not a mystery. It's a message. When he reappears with soft words and no action, it's not romantic. It's a trap. Because you're not confused. You never were. You've just been taught to doubt your instincts. Taught to interpret mixed signals as a challenge to win someone over. Taught to see red flags and think, maybe I can fix this. But you can't fix someone who benefits from being broken, emotions, or weaponizing your voice. Love that isn't conditional on how easy you are to handle. Love that is whole and present and brave. And until that love arrives from another or from yourself, you stay grounded in your worth. You build a life where you feel seen, heard, and respected. You surround yourself with people who don't fear your light. You build friendships that feel like truth. You pour into yourself what you used to pour into people who couldn't hold it. Because choosing yourself is not lonely, it's revolutionary. It's the beginning of everything. So if today you're still healing, still grieving the version of love you once clung to, I want you to hear this. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not hard to love. You are becoming. And every day you choose yourself over someone who only chooses you in fragments. You reclaim a piece of your soul. You become more you. You become whole. So the next time a vague message lights up your screen, don't just ask what he wants. Ask what you want. Do you want to feel this way again? Do you want to re-enter a cycle you barely survived? Or are you ready to build something real? Even if it means walking away from what was familiar, because love will find you again. Not the kind that leaves you guessing, but the kind that sits with you in silence, stays for the hard conversations, honors your voice, cherishes your truth. But that love can only arrive when you've made room for it. So let go, not out of bitterness, but from a place of deep inner knowing. Let go of the fantasy. Let go of the idea that you could have done more. Let go of the story that love must always hurt first. Let go of the version of you that kept settling, waiting, hoping. And in that letting go, return to yourself. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." And you, my friend, are awakening to your worth, to your peace, to the truth that the love you were waiting for was never in him. It's been within you all along.